Wait, no, wait, never mind. Well, it says we're streaming. I just hit the stream button. I guess the same thing as last time. Wait until it starts streaming. Oh.
And yes, I did. I did send that to you.
Well, it's good news. It's good news that you said.
All right, we are live.
Yes.
Right now. Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey.
And welcome to
Hi.
Everything Animated. I am your host, Zach, aka Everything Animated, and today we are talking about Little Rascal Doesn't Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, episode 10.
The real question I have to ask now, after 10 episodes, is he may dream about Bunny Girl Senpai. He may. I'm just saying. Just saying.
For those of you who don't know who that is, of course my good buddy C Tactics, joining me as co-host of this podcast.
Some people love me. Most people hate me. How you doing?
I know a few that hate you by name.
Oh no, that's not good.
No, well,
it could be good.
Yeah, who knows? Today, we both watched episode 10, and do you have a synopsis of it, or shall I do it again?
I do.
All right, let's hear what that synopsis shall be.
Bunny Girl Senpai, episode 10. Everything kind of sorts itself out. Mai and Cotton Candy Eyes start to excel at doing, their things that they're supposed to do. But after Cotton Candy Eyes tries to commit suicide, they go back to their house, where Mai reveals that she kept all of those letters that Cotton Candy Eyes sent her. Afterwards, Futaba, the worst thing to happen to Bunny Girl, reveals Mai may have been jealous of Cotton Candy Eyes the whole time. Worst part of the episode. Thankfully, though, this episode was awesome.
All right,
that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good little synopsis. I definitely think because I originally didn't know where this episode was going, but then once they kind of unraveled a few things, I was like, okay, this is a lot better endings. I think anything's better than Futaba, but definitely a nice little convenient ending to this arc.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of weird when I know I'm skipping way ahead, but whenever they switch back to their bodies, I thought it was gonna be like telepathically they would like switch, kind of like their souls into each other's
Oh no, my
bodies.
cat's at my door! Ah!
He has a cat called Mr. Kitty, and he just let him out, and now he just let him back in. I'm just gonna go ahead and pad until he gets back, but I think it was a better episode than most, and I think
streaming audiences couldn't hear that, but I ran my knee into the desk.
Oh no, I heard that.
Yeah,
I
heard
you
that.
were opening the door.
Those guys didn't.
They probably did. Who knows? But
Maybe. Where are we at?
Like I was just. What was I saying? I was saying that.
What do you want, kitty?
I thought it was strange that how instead of switching souls back to the original body, they basically just like their bodies literally just like morphed back into their old selves, and I was like, that's kind of weird because they were already wearing their clothes, and then they were just wearing it. I'm like, that's strange. And
it made that weird bone crunching sound effect. I'm like, did somebody just die? Like, because I expected that sound effect, and I was like, oh no, did Sakata accidentally fall and decapitate himself?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was going on for a moment, and I was like, oh, okay.
What is a QRW6?
QRW6?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, at the beginning of this episode, we kind of there's like this little flashback sequence where it's like we kind of learn that Cotton Candy Eyes really wanted to be like Mai, really like there's this cool little thing where Mai's first interaction with her was like, I always wanted a little sister, and she perks up and she's like, oh, I'm so excited because I got a big sister now, and it was just really cute.
So it's adorbs.
Yeah, yeah, super adorbs. There's another super adorbs scene in this anime. What was it? I have it in my notes here.
It was when it's when she slapped Sakata when she wanted to slap her sister.
Oh, that was there. What was the reason for that?
Well, she said why. I thought it was actually kind of clever and funny because like he was like, "Ow, why did you slap me for?" And then she was like, "I wanted to slap her, but I realized that I have a photo shoot tomorrow, so I didn't want to slap my face." And then even Cotton Candy Eyes was like, "You see, even then you always know what to do. You're so awesome, and I hate you."
Yeah, no, that whole scene where they kind of just like, where Cotton Candy Eyes just like laid everything out, and they kind of bonded there. That was a really awesome scene. I really enjoyed that scene. There are so many scenes in this episode that I really enjoyed though, but like, oh, and the scene before that where she goes out into the ocean and she literally tries to kill herself.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's fucking heavy, dude.
I know. I was like, I want to go to the ocean, and he's just like, "Oh, okay.
We go down that now.
It's only midnight, but let's go to the ocean." and then as soon as she started marching in there, I was like, "Oh God, I already know what she's trying to do." And then sure enough, that's what was going on. And what was it, an Uber or like a taxi? It was like, "You kids shouldn't be out here this late," and they're soaking wet in his car.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of issues I have with this episode when it comes to this scene. And generally this episode, placing this episode is very difficult for me in terms of its tone, because the last couple arcs haven't, or well, I guess the last couple of arcs haven't really had this kind of tone, but this scene was really dark, and I feel like the show undercut it so much, because I knew immediately what was going on. Like, I knew immediately. I was like, she's trying to kill herself. She doesn't want to live anymore. This is a suicide attempt. And the show was just kind of like, it's just another dramatic scene. And I felt that kind of underplayed the meaning of what she was trying to do. And then supposedly the same night she's okay, like she's fine after they get into an argument. Like I felt the tone was not matching here. And the tone of this episode, for how dark it was, kind of, because there was a lot of difficult subjects in this episode, like abandonment and stuff like that. The rest of the series hasn't really ever had a tone like this. So this came out of nowhere, this whole tone shift. It was much darker than the past tones. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have darker subjects. It's just the fact that I don't think they wrote it in the correct way. They should have. Something about it was super jarring with the tone shift, and it was good. It was good. But the underplaying of the suicide thing and the dealing with these darker subjects, like once again child abandonment, and it never being, I don't know, it felt undercutted to me.
Right. Yeah, I guess to kind of go off what you were saying about how you say that there's so many really good scenes in this episode. I agree with you with that. I just think the whole execution, and I think the whole path and the story that it took for us to get to those really good scenes just felt amiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really like like you said, like we just get that one scene where it's, I'm just gonna go kill myself. Whoa, where did this come from? I thought you were just jealous of your sister. Now all of a sudden you want to kill yourself. It just seemed very rushed, and it felt really forced in a way, just the whole story. But yeah, I like the scenes. I just kind of wish that there was some
Was
substance behind it.
I also wish, like you said, like when you bring that up about how all of it felt pretty rushed and pacing, and I agree with that. I think this show has so far been very disjointed a lot of the times, and I think while this is probably one of the best episodes of the series, in my opinion, for me at least, I think that this show has very troubling pacing issues, but it's trying to hide them, and I commend it for it. But when you have an arc like Futaba's, I'm just saying.
We don't talk about that.
Like, maybe you should try a little bit harder. And I realize scripts are finalized months before production begins, but I mean,
I don't know. It's like I feel like if you can make Mai's arc work really well, and I felt like the whole pattern of all these arcs is that Mai's was 3, and every other person seems to have been just 2. And oh no, maybe there was one that was 3.
Tomoe
but I think
was
all of them.
3.
Tomoe was 3.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
Well, I don't know, but
The math checks out.
If you need to have like that extra episode so that you can get more out of the story, then do that. I just hate when you cut out things just to force, almost in a way to force the audience to be like, wow, this is a really good episode. But I mean, yeah, it looks nice, and yeah, it was, it had really good scenes, and I think anybody can relate to, especially if you have relatives or brother, sister, whatever, that it works. And yes, QRW6 bath scenes. The very first scene in this episode was a goddamn. Mai was in the bath.
Yeah. This show is. I've said it. I feel like I'm a broken record. It is literally doing every episode is the same thing over and over. It's the same formula. It's the same. It's like it's like it's cookie cutter. It's like building a PC. It's the same thing every time. Nothing changes about anything in these episodes, and the only thing that the formula's fine. I mean, it really is, but it's noticeable because they don't change a thing about it. I mean, they got through 95% of an episode, and they just could not go without Futaba being in the last. They made her in the end scene credits scene.
Right.
What are you doing? Like, you don't need everything to be explained. Like, this episode on its own without her was. I was like, by the end of this episode, I was like, man, this episode is kind of a breath of fresh air. No Futaba. Yeah. Like, the scenes, like, there were some pretty crazy dark scenes. There were some pretty dark subjects it was dealing with. Then I get to this part, and I'm like, come on, do we need this explained? Do we really need this explained?
Yeah, I felt the same way, because they literally transformed right in front of them. It's like, how did this happen? Well, obviously, they went back to their original bodies.
It's just like gorillas and stuff, and maybe Mai herself was a little bit jealous of Cotton Candy Eyes. We knew that.
It's like, no shit. Of course
Duh.
We knew that. I mean, what? Did they honestly think that we didn't know that by the end scene? I guess what I want to bring up, because now that I'm reading some of the comments in here, the whole cabinet scene when she was when Mai was like, don't you look in the cabinet, and then out exactly what was in there.
So dumb.
I'm like, first of all, why do you not want him to see that?
Well, here's the thing. Here is my theory on that, and this is what I wish they would have done instead of doing that stupid Futaba scene. God damn it. Instead of using that scene, have a scene where Sakata is talking to Mai and be like, why did you tell me to not go to the cabinet? And then she would go, it's because I wanted you to go there.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense why she would want to. It adds to the story. It adds to, Mai's reasoning for having that there to begin with.
I just don't understand why she couldn't just out and say this to her sister like a while ago. Like she had to act like she didn't care. She had to just kind of like talk down to her the whole time. It's like, if you knew your sister felt the way that she did, why didn't you just say, hey, why didn't you just say what you said? When she found out that you kept the letters and stuff, like, why did it have to get to that part? Why couldn't you have just said, look, I like you. You're my sister. I've always loved you as my sister, whatever, even though we got 2 different moms, same daddy. But, it's really not that big of a deal. Let's hug it out. But no, we have to get to the point where she almost kills herself.
Yeah.
To get to that point.
A literal suicide attempt out of nowhere, almost, seemingly, because of the pacing, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Although I understand what they were trying to do, still, out of nowhere. Like an RKO.
Yeah. An RKO out of nowhere. Oh, God almighty! Stop the goddamn match, please! I love good old JR.
Yeah.
But hey, here's something else that happened in the episode. Kaede dressed up and is like,
this is great.
I'm going back outside. Finally.
Yeah, she's like, you have all these girls around now, so I gotta like dress up. And I didn't really mind. I didn't like that part, but I didn't mind it because once again I'm tired of this sister crap. Once again, they have to have a scene with Kaede. They gotta have one with Kaede talking about her brother. But this one was so low key, like not incest fan service crap that it was a cute scene. It showed growth in Kaede of where she's finally like, hey, like she's taking steps to getting out of this kind of rut she's in and learning to like take her own life back from this terrible thing that happened to her. I loved it. I love the meaning behind the scene. They probably meant it as something completely different. I love the meaning I made up for it.
the good old fashioned head pat cliche, because
that was very wholesome. Very wholesome.
That is that like if I was to ever go over to your house, see Tactics, and pat you on the head, would you feel like, oh my God, this guy just pat me on the head? My life is now complete.
Well, not every. Well, it just if it was someone I really looked up to, sure.
Like Satsuki?
If it was Satsuki, 100%.
Oh, okay. It's nice to know you look up to him and not me.
Well, it would just be weird, between us two, it'd be strange. But for Satsuki, it'd be like, finally.
Finally, I got the head pats.
Yeah. After all these years. I guess we could talk about the child abandonment thing that was going on with Sakata. And Sakata and Mai are like not Mai, Cotton Candy Eyes, are walking together. And she's asking him about, family situation. And his mother is not doing well in the hospital because of the thing that happened to Kaede.
Yeah.
And the father left. He's just out of nowhere. And then after that scene, during this scene, actually, no, it's very important we address this first. Cotton Candy Eyes is like, well, do you hate your parents? And he's like, no. Why would I? They're my parents. I'm like, that is such a beautiful line. I love that line. Because they're, like, if you read up about, like all of these cases of, like, people being abused or people walking, their family members walking out on them, you ask them, most of the time they're like, yeah, I still love them though. It's because they're your parents. I
Right.
love that. I don't know. There was something so human about that line. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, it's pretty nice that we also get to know about the father and the mother of what really happened. I don't know if that was talked about in episode 1 or 2. I don't think it was. I think it was
Uh,
vaguely
I,
mentioned.
maybe, but I like how the father's not in the story like at all, and he's basically there to take Sakata's taking care of his sister, and then all of a sudden he talks about like, hey, how's Kaede, and then what is Sasuke? It's like, what is it like to be a kid? And the father's like, you have a child, or like you're trying to have kids? It's like, yo, you're not in the picture. Why all of a sudden do you give a fuck? you gotta you gotta
I
kind of
think,
be there.
yeah, I think it's that for him, it's probably that that feeling of still being a parent is still there and wanting to
Right.
nurture this kid.
Hmm.
That feeling, even though he left, um, it's still there for him. And I thought this whole scene with his father was awesome. Just the fact of bringing it up was just so cool because we kind of, at least for me, I wondered for a while like what is going on with his parents, and this is the perfect time to bring it up. I think this is one of the in terms of pacing, I think this is one of the best choices they made in the whole series, is doing this here because it made sense. It felt natural. It felt like it led up to it fine, and they didn't mess it up. It wasn't messed up. They didn't talk about you banging your sister, huh? You banging your sister, dude?
You know it.
High five, bro.
but but yeah, it's yeah, I agree with you. I think that whole talking about family and parents, and it's like, do you hate them? No, they'll always be my parents. And yeah, I totally can agree with that as well. Got a question from QRW6. What do y'all think of Sakuta's character in the series so far? At first, I really liked him, and I thought he was a very grounded, kind of down to earth type person. But now, he's becoming more of a shtick type character where he always has to be, hey, let me talk something sexual because that's just who I am. Hi-oh. But I don't know. I guess he's okay
Um,
overall. He's better than most boring ass main
right.
characters.
I
I'll
agree with
give him
that.
that.
He's better than most.
Oh my god.
If this character, what are you oh my godding about?
No, I was just saying, oh my god, because there's so many
Oh,
boring main characters like that are dudes in
mm-hmm.
anime that Sakata, if you were to put him next to like even 100 of those, he's still better than
Yeah,
all of them.
he's like top 10 for me. He's not as good as Hodoro from Hyoka or Hachiman from Snafu,
Oh hell no, not even close.
but he's up there, definitely up there. There are some things I really hate about him. I hate how he's always flirting with women. I hate how
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't. It's that song. Don't know what you got until it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I feel like he's the prequel to that song in some instances. Um, he right now, this episode, this is the kind of Sakata I like, is the one we saw in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that's not being a wise ass too much. I still like him being an asshole sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's kind of meandered out in the middle for me. But overall, definitely like top 15, top 10 slice of life MCs ever, probably.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, probably.
I can say that confidently without the series even being finished yet, because, I mean, what pool is there to take from? There isn't a lot. The pool's pretty full, but it's a very dirty water. A lot of it.
So, some guy named Sasuke the Savage is saying, "Is Mai a best girl candidate?" I mean, I think she is definitely what you would call good girlfriend material. I mean, she does kind of have some quirks about her. The fact that she likes to step on your feet and smack you, probably not the best, but For the most part, I think she would be
Well,
best girl. That I mean, in this show, baby, yes, of course, she's the best in this show.
yeah, she's probably the best character in this show.
Oh, he says for the year.
For the year. So I'm just
Um,
gonna assume I don't do popularity contests. I don't do the whole, yeah, I totally want to bang this chick.
yeah,
kind
she's
of.
the best, Sasuke, for the year. OP win, my.
In terms of best of the year,
No, we know who's the best of the year. It's what's her face from SSS Gridman, the
oh
thighs.
my god. In terms of writing, she's like top 10 female characters of the year, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
There are some pretty cool female characters in Legend of Galactic Heroes this year, so I think those definitely top my, like, I think Jessica from Legend of Galactic Heroes is a little bit better, just off the top of my head. Yukiko from Megalobox, I thought was a pretty good character. Maybe not. Maybe Mai's a little bit better than her, but it definitely, like, once again, top 10, top 15 females of this year.
All right, getting back on track.
Well, we
'cause
have the idol scene.
They're just talking. Yeah, I was actually going to get into that, but you go ahead. What about this idol scene?
Well, I was just gonna. Well, no, you continue.
Okay, I will continue. The idol scene.
All right.
What were they singing in English? Kiss me, baby, I love you.
I wrote this down. I want to kiss you, love me, baby.
I want to kiss you, love me, baby.
Love me, baby.
Love me, baby.
And I thought, that is the stupidest goddamn thing I've ever heard. This is awesome.
When it comes to idol animes, I've never been a fan. The only one that I've
Symphogear is pretty good.
The only one, well, yeah, you did suggest that one to me, but the only one I ever even came close to liking was Love Live, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just like a guilty pleasure type thing where they don't just do, idol stuff, even though it is called Love Live Idol Project or whatever. But they
it's a slice of life.
Yeah, it's a slice of life, and they're all unique characters. And anyway, look, but going back,
this was a hit or miss. Just anyone could be just like, I didn't really need this scene.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was blasting some From Ashes to New when this scene was going on.
I was playing Tony Hawk, listening to In Flames while watching this because it was unbearable, dude.
I love Tony Hawk.
Playing with the Birdman. It wasn't a terrible scene, all right. It was just terribly cringy. That was it. I mean, like at one point they're like they're talking about their drenched panties, and I think I have a note here where I was just like reacting on the fly. I was like, only like one kind of drenched panties. That's the only thing I could come up with about this whole scene.
And wasn't there one part where they were like, what is that on your face? Oh, we don't sweat. It's just juice. Oh, but aren't your panties all sweaty? Yeah. We don't wear panties. You hear that? They don't wear panties. And everyone's in the crowd's like, oh, it's like, Jesus Christ.
It's just, God, it's just, this just made the Japanese people seem like creepy perverts. Like, you didn't do anything. You just made your own people look like freaking mouth breathers.
I love her. We're not wearing any panties.
She's 15.
I want to see what's under that skirt now.
Oh, this is just terrible. And right after this scene, she tries to kill herself. What was going on? But funny though, one of the girls falls, and I'm like, oh my god, that's great. And then she catches the mic and starts singing. I'm like, that was funny. That was funny, seeing a girl fall flat on her face like that.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. Like, it just, it was almost like It was almost like a slapstick where it was like, nah, nah, he had to whoop, and then it goes into the next
sound
one.
effect was great for it. It's like
whoop.
It's like just
What?
splat.
Why don't we just add a banana slip sound effect while we're at it? And
The song they're playing is the Benny Hill song. Oh, man, we could have made this scene so much better already if they would just let us have directed this scene.
I mean, maybe if I could re-edit it and upload it, but YouTube would probably take that down.
Yeah, you'd get a strike. Then
I'd get a strike. They'd be like, Cloverworks does not like what you just did about their anime.
You can only upload Rika Takanashi noises. Did you see that on our anime? One of the top poses was Rika Takanashi.
What's
Takahashi?
That? Yeah, what's that?
Takarada. Like they took an episode of her, and it's just, you know how like when a character isn't saying anything but they make like an audible noise?
Huh.
They just took all of those like little audible noises and put them together in one video, and it got like 6,000 upvotes. I'm like, what the hell?
I need to see that. That sounds so ridiculous. That's funny.
One of the idol girls had fangs. That's good character development.
You know, when anime girls have fangs, like, isn't that supposed to mean that they're feisty or whatever?
It means they're tsunderes.
We have the anime father here in the chat.
Oh, the anime father.
Forgive me, Father, for we have sinned.
Yeah, we have watched too many High School DxDs.
Yeah, I stopped after season 2. I tried watching season 3, but I mean, I still love me some Akano, whatever her name is.
Akano. In the beginning of this episode, they're watching scary movies, and Cotton Candy Eyes just cannot help it, and they
were watching The Ring.
Yeah, The Ringu. I like this.
She's like, and he got scared too, but his was more of like a jump, like, you know, like those stupid jump scares that you get in Five Nights at Freddy's. But yeah, she's just like, ah! It's like, it is 12 o'clock at night. Shut up.
You shut your mouth, Missy. I'm trying to get to sleep. I gotta work tomorrow.
If you weren't in my girlfriend's body, I'd slug you. I thought that was kind of funny too, how like once they switched back, he's like, finally I can mess around with Mai's body. That he was just like wanting to do stuff with Mai's body so bad, but because it was his sister.
Actually, what he said was actually, I can't wait to be all lovey-dovey with Mai.
Well,
same difference.
We all know.
We all know what Sakata wants to do.
He wants to cuddle.
I was gonna say touch butts, but
well, yeah,
that's the ultimate goal.
He wants to touch that bunny butt with the little cotton booty.
Cotton.
You know, the little tail, cotton tail.
Oh.
Because she's a bunny. I was trying to make a joke.
Just trying to do a thing there, huh? I just kind of just.
So out of what, like 2 episodes this whole series, she's dressed up as a bunny girl twice.
Yep. Well,
out
actually,
of 10 episodes.
If you don't know, sir, she was wearing a hat during this episode. Well, Cotton Candy Eyes in her body was, and on the hat had a bunny on it, and she has a hairpin on the back of her head that is a pink bunny.
Oh, she just can't escape. She just can't escape that bunny life, can she?
She just loves bunnies.
I mean,
yeah, I feel like we were sold a bill of goods, you know, and they just did not follow up on that at all with the bunny girl thing. I felt like definitely more bunny girl for sure. Like, I'm definitely gonna return this and leave an angry tweet, directed at Bethesda, because they deserve it.
Speaking of angry tweet, I guess I don't know if you saw the after credits scene, but drama, dun dun dun. Mai has been caught with a boyfriend out in public, and we
Oh
all know who
no.
it is. Satsuki. Shit.
Satsuki the
Sakata.
Savage?
Sasuke the Savage. He's he's
God.
going out with he's going out with Mai
High
now,
five,
and
man. Gotta give him
I
a high
know.
five.
Yeah, man.
He scored.
You dating a freaking a model.
Anime girl.
Way to go, man. And uh Sakata's like, you son of a bitch.
Satsuki
But
can take him.
oh yeah, with those guns that he has,
Yeah.
fucking hey, he's
ripped.
gonna he's gonna just he's gonna destroy him. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's what's gonna lead into the next episode, and then it also showed like different. It had different clips of, I guess, Kaede, and I'm guessing the next arc is gonna be featuring Kaede.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because I just love incest jokes. So you can obviously tell. But I mean, when you brought up like, oh no, their relationship is in the public now. That's actually a big deal in Japan, culturally, believe it or not, because even holding hands in public, that's why the holding hands thing is a meme, because even in public, holding hands is like considered a big step in a relationship. Yeah, that usually means you're very close to that person, and so this is technically, if we were in Japan and Japanese people, this would be a big deal. Like, we'd be like, oh, that's actually high drama. For us, it's going to be tame. It'd be like, hold hands, we make out in public, touch each other's rear ends in public. We do all that stuff.
Yeah, they must think we're a bunch of whores in America. The anime fodder just said that I just said fodder.
Fodder.
Anyway, the anime fodder just said that the next one is the Kaede arc, and shit gets fucked.
Shit gets fucked. I hope it's not Kaeda.
Oh my god.
Sakata, what are you doing?
Sakata, don't go into the light. I can't help it.
I can't.
It's so young and beautiful.
Oh no. That's terrible.
That's I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, it's because of Satsuki going out with Mai. It's ruined it for him.
I know.
God.
And for some reason he says he has to kill me now.
Oh no.
I don't know what that means, but
oh no, you gotta run.
I guess I better run. If it was, I'll tell you what, if it was me and Sasuke one when it comes to dodgeball, he'd be destroyed. So if you ever wanna come and play dodgeball, it's a throwdown. It's a dodgeball Satsuki versus everything animated throwdown, ball to ball. What say you?
Is that do they use the same scoring terminology as tennis, where you're up for love or whatever?
No, it's literally just 1-0, 2-0, or if it's tied 2-2.
Well,
all that good stuff. Nothing exciting. It's not like one ball to three nuts.
One ball to three nuts. What? That's great. Do it. Use that.
Sasuke says that he might be good at dodgeball.
Oh no!
Time to crack my knuckles.
Now it's time to actually break a sweat.
I'm flying to the East Coast this weekend to play in the dodgeball tournament. Sasuke, you better show up.
Oh man.
Anyway, we're getting off topic again. Oh, we got 6 people watching this stream.
That's pretty crazy. Let's just stall forever.
This is a record. This is a record high for me. Oh, now it just dropped down to 6. Fuck! I started talking about dodgeball.
That's what it was.
5.
That's
5,
what it was. We should talk about how attractive these young anime girls are again, because that's what was bringing in the views.
Let's get the people to come back. Hold on. Let's talk about just how hot these women are in the show, and how ugly the main character is.
Yes.
I don't know how people can do
Girls.
it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I struggle keeping up with these kids that have all their waifus and their video RAM and their God, what
Their
Sony
video
Walkman?
RAM?
There's Sony Walkman now. I don't.
I know.
Yeah,
They've
I
been
don't know.
walking. They've been walking with CD players attached to them.
How do they? CD players are only meant for your house, not meant for walking. It's so big. How can you carry it?
I don't know. I just don't understand. I
And
mean,
apparently, they have these
gotta be in
things
shape.
called USB drives, and apparently you put it into your computer, and I'm sitting there, I'm running Windows 95 on my beige piece of shit with floppy disks that has like 6 bits of data, and they got like what, 2 gigabytes? Shit, man, I can't live with what?
I still dream of floppy disks and inserting them and this is the best game ever.
Apparently.
Don't copy that floppy.
Oh yeah.
That was the old saying back in the day because pirating was even big back in the 80s.
Yep.
All right, I think we completely lost everything. We lost our minds and we lost control of the show.
We went back to the 90s for a moment there.
We really did.
I'm 23. I don't know how I remember this crap.
But anyway,
In a weird place.
what do you want to give this overall episode? If it was me, well, I mean, I'm not talking about rating, but if I was to say if I liked this show, I definitely liked this particular episode. I just kind of wish there was more just more of a nice put together story versus
More
just,
cohesiveness.
yeah, more cohesiveness, more solidarity. Just everything just seemed to be all over the place. But overall, it's definitely a lot better than I want to say the past 3 episodes.
Past 2,
3?
3. Yeah,
Because-
3.
Yeah, I want to say it's been better than the past 3 episodes, definitely.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And for the first time in a long time, I'm actually looking forward to see what the next episode's going to be.
I am cautiously optimistic. I will say that. I didn't even know this episode came out today. You.
I had to
randomly
remind
popped up.
you.
Yeah, you're like, hey, want to do Bunny Girl Senpai podcast? I'm like, what? That came out today? I was almost dreading watching it because I didn't like the last 3 episodes. In the hierarchy of Bunny Girl Senpai, this is definitely top tier rank. I would say it is definitely probably above the Tomoe stuff, but not like right below the first 3 episodes. It's probably number 4.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think they should have just skipped all those middle episodes and went straight to this one. Just no build up. Just like, hey, this happened.
Hey, this was the thing. we just switched bodies, and guess what? I have a sister. She's blonde and from America.
She's American.
Well, I don't know if she's American. I'm just guessing. But
she's blonde, I guess.
well,
so.
I think her hair's dyed because when it showed her as a little kid, she had like
that's
brown
right.
hair.
She had like brownish hair. Huh.
So she dyed it. She's
What?
a fake.
What if they decided to stay in each other's bodies?
Then Sakata would have the biggest blue balls ever. My girlfriend's right in front of me, and I can't do shit.
And I have to wait for her to age now, but it's still not her. Ah!
He's just like,
I'm just gonna go make out with Tomoe real quick.
I want to touch the hiney, but I can't. You know what? Tomoe liked me at one point. Maybe I can get her to come back. Tomoe, please come in here a sec. What is it? I dropped my fork. Could you pick it up? Okay. Knew that big ass would come in handy.
Oh man! And then she's like, I'm calling the police, and then yeah.
And then he's in jail the
Yeah,
rest
and
of
he's in
his
jail.
life.
And then he's hitting on the dudes in jail. Yo, what's up? Nice pics.
I was gonna say
wanna
he's
fuck?
He's even being a smartass while he's in jail. Hey, if you want to drop the soap, I ain't gonna go for it.
Hey, I got extra bags of soap, bitch. I don't need your floor soap.
That's the one thing they teach you about jail is floor soap. Floor soap is
The best kind of
like
soap. Always reach for it.
don't eat yellow snow. Never touch floor soap. I think that's the old saying anyway. Anyway,
we ended on prison rape. That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
What a good thing to end on. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, all 5 of you. It was 6 at one point, but we drove one of you away. I apologize. And Anime Father, QRW6, Sasuke the Savage, you all are absolutely amazing. And C Tactics, thank you as always for joining. Where can they find you, C Tactics?
They can find me at youtube.com/ctactics. Links probably are in the description. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I do a good job. I don't want to hear it. I put your damn name in there. What do you want from me?
No, it's more me. I'm a little at it. I forget all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
is it because you reached 2,000 recently?
You're right. I did reach 2,000. I'm already up to like 2,030. It's crazy. Like, I guarantee
I'm happy for you, buddy.
It surprises me. Surprises me how just during random times throughout the year I will gain like 100 subs in like 2 days. It's crazy. It'll happen to you as well.
Yeah. You want to know how many subs I gained in this week?
How? How many?
One.
That's better than 0. I mean, you have, and I bet that one sub was Mr. Kitty.
Mr. Kitty.
Mr. Kitty. He's a regular viewer of everything animated.
Aw, Mr. Kitty, you're so nice. But yeah, now I'm at 119 subs. I'm hoping by the same time next year that I could, I don't know,
10,000.
10,000 would be sweet. But
oh yeah. Reach for the stars there. 3 million.
All I have to do is review the upcoming shows coming out. Like I Have a Gambling Problem Season 2. Oh my god, people will be tuning in.
My cat just bit me, and then went back to sleep. He just randomly woke up to bite me.
You see that? He knew you were talking shit about me, and he had to defend me. Thank you, Mr. Kitty.
Well, he's already asleep again. He doesn't. I don't know what that was.
It was a love bite.
Well, they can find me at youtube.com/ctactics. I talk about anime and everything anime related, like anime.
Yeah. And Sasuke the Savage, he's our 1/3 on King of Anime Podcast. King of Anime Podcast is slowly coming to an end here pretty soon. Not like the show itself, but just the fall season. Yeah. Guess I should have said that at the beginning. But
we shall start up another season.
Oh my gosh. The best season ever. Winter 2019.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I heard they got Kill La Kill Season 2, Dragon Ball Z Season 10. What the hell they got going on there? Naruto Season 24. I don't know what one they're on. The new seasons of The Simpsons. Apparently they're rebooting it. It's a gritty reboot. It's like Clark. It's like Tomb Raider now.
Homer has a full head of hair now.
They got they got Spice and Wolf Season 3. They got some crazy shit next season.
That's right, Sasuke. Winter is coming. That is also coming next year. Cannot wait for Game of Thrones.
Yep, they got Fallout 4 coming.
Yeah, but as always, thank you all for joining this wonderful stream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I will see you guys next week with episode 11. Man, there's only 3 episodes left of this show, and then it's on to the movie when it comes out next year.
Yay.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Bye.